Popular drinks in Spain: Calimocho, Clara and Licor 43. Spanish mixed drinks that you've probably never heard of. From the budget-friendly Calimocho red wine and Coca-Cola to the dangerously sticky Licor 43 con leche. Here are the mixed drinks that young people in Spain grew up with that you and most expats and tourists have never encountered. So, what do younger people drink and what are the drinks that you've probably never heard of over here? The main one would be when I was growing up around 18, when we used to do the botellón or botelleo at the back of a boot of a car, would be Calimocho. Now, Calimocho is a Spanish drink of excellence amongst young people because it's incredibly cheap and it's 50% Coca-Cola and 50% red wine. So it's sort of similar to a tinto verano, which you get off tap in any bar in the summer, which is lemonade and red wine. But this was Coca-Cola 50% and red wine 50%, lots of ice, and that's what the majority of young people would drink. Another drink that you've probably never heard of, apart from Calimocho, is the infamous Licor 43 made here in Cartagena, just up the road. We've all heard of the Licor 43, which is this incredibly sweet drink that they do tours of the factory. Well, the girls would drink pints of that with milk. It would be a pint of milk where you would have a quarter or a third of Licor 43 and then the other 2/3, it's so sweet, it's making my teeth stick together. Another 2/3 would be milk, and that's what the girls would drink. And you could imagine when we'd have birthday parties and the girls would be drinking Licor 43, if you spilt any of it on the floor, the next morning you'd be walking across your lounge and it would pull your socks off. It is so sticky. So as I say, the Calimocho will be the first one. Because of course, a lot of people, I'm surprised in the classroom, they've never heard of a Clara. Now, of course, a Clara is just an outright shandy. And one of the main differences I like to explain with a Clara is that when a Spaniard orders a Clara, normally Spaniards like their Clara with Fanta limón, so it's half beer and half Fanta lemon, very similar to the Germans with their Radler. And then you've got the other side, which are of course a lot of Brits who like their Clara to be with gaseosa, which is just basically our sweet lemonade, as you want to call it. So it is very common when a Brit asks for a Clara for them to ask you con Fanta de limón or con gaseosa, asking you which one of the two you want. But I'm sure a lot of you won't have heard of Calimocho or Licor 43 con leche, very similar to the first time I went to Germany and saw in the supermarkets that they sell bottles of Coca-Cola and Fanta mixed 50-50, called Mezzo Mix. Oh, my sweet mother of Mary Joseph. But as I say, not as bad, well, much worse, I would say, than Calimocho, which at least is tasty, or a Clara con Fanta limón o con gaseosa, o Licor 43 con leche.